Tom is with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. He's a sergeant with the SO, and he is currently running for sheriff. Tom, thanks for coming in. Great to meet you.
Good morning. Let me clarify a couple things. I retired from the Sheriff's Office June 1st. Wasn't a sergeant. I was a road deputy. And wanted to set that straight so that the record was clear. But good morning.
Okay. I'm glad. Thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate that. And sorry I blew the intro. You spent 24 years as a deputy, and part of your campaign is a renewed emphasis on community policing. Tell us about that.
That's correct. In the late 90s, the Sheriff's Office under Allison and went into Roth was into a full-blown community policing program. And that's where the deputies actually took stock in the community. We had zone commanders in charge of specific areas, and they would go to crime watches, community meetings, and would address the problems of each individual community. For the last several years, we haven't been doing that. I want to get us back with the emphasis on the community, focusing on the community problems.
Okay. And you feel that the Sheriff's Department's priorities have kind of veered away from that?
That's correct. They've gotten more into a numbers thing. They're looking for productivity out of the deputies. I think doing the community policing as a squad, empowering our sergeants, I think I can give them actually the same numbers that they're looking for, if not better.
Sure. It's been a real challenge retaining qualified deputies here in Monroe County. It's expensive to live here. A lot of folks who are from the Keys that decide to pursue careers in law enforcement often go up to departments, police departments and sheriff's offices on the mainland because it pays more. What do we do to keep qualified officers on the force? How do we retain them and not lose them to other jobs elsewhere?
It's kind of a three-part to that question. The first part is money. Can we afford mainland prices of what they're paying their officers? The answer is no. But the other part is training. We kind of fell away from our hands-on training. In other words, we're dealing with a large portion of 0 to 10-year deputies, so chances are in the middle of the night when you call the sheriff's office, you're getting somebody with 1 to 2 years experience.
Rookie.
Unfortunately, because of the high turnover rate, we got rookies training rookies. The 10 to 20 is substantially less. Training is an important issue. The other thing is we need to create a fair and stable work environment for those officers. You want people to come to work. You don't want people to come dreading to come to work, wondering if they're going to get rode up today. The emphasis has kind of shifted more towards discipline than it has been applauding officers for good work. And we need to shift that emphasis. We need to rotate that. I think if we train harder, train more hands-on, community policing will help in this. I think the officers would want to come to work. They take pride in what they're doing. And some of that pride, even though the money may not be as good as what it needs to be, as long as they're putting a roof over their head and keeping food on the table, I think you're going to see a turnaround in the retention rate.
What are your thoughts on requiring deputies to live in Monroe County?
Part of that would hurt us. We got a good bunch of Miami people that are currently coming down. The recession has kind of helped us in a way, as far as keep bringing people from Miami. Hearing rumors of Miami-Dade hiring 300 officers. I'm guessing around October, which means we're going to lose probably 7 to 10 officers out of the Upper Keys going that direction.
What are your thoughts on deputies taking home cars? There's a story that ran recently about the possibility of phasing out that program over time, especially for deputies in the Upper Keys who happen to live in Miami-Dade.
One of the hardest things to budget for in this economy is fuel prices. Something that I would look at would be, yes, phasing out the cars from leaving the county. The take-home concept as far as deputies living in the Keys, we need to do. There's been studies done to where if you park the car at the station and it goes 24/7, where people are jumping in and out of cars, it leads to more wear and tear on the vehicle. You don't get the shelf life of a vehicle as you do per an individual. One of the areas I may look at curtail would be the personal use of vehicles.
So in other words, the car would be used to get to and from work, but not at off-duty hours.
Right. You wouldn't be able to go to Winn-Dixie or run to a second job. A lot of deputies, in order to curb costs, don't own a personal vehicle. Mm-hmm. The only vehicle they have is the sheriff's office vehicle.
Okay.
But we need to give them some kind of lead time that if we're going to do a change in policy that, hey, 6 to 8 months out, a year out, starting at the end of that period, we're going to take away your personal use.
Part of your platform, switching gears now to another topic, is to expand the dive team of the Sheriff's Office as well as the Marine Patrol. Tell us why you think that's a smart allocation of resources, given that there's going to be some overlap there with both FWC and Coast Guard.
Correct. Right now, Monroe County leads Florida in boating accidents and deaths. I feel the sheriff has the same responsibility on the water as he does on land within the county limits. We're a waterborne community. I believe back in 2009, 2010, there was 23,000 vessels registered in Monroe County. We like going to our favorite sandbar, island, to spend our weekends, especially during the summer months.
Yep.
And we need to regulate that. When I first started in the Marine unit, Marvin Key, which used to be a family spot, was having several issues, fights, people getting injured, getting taken to the hospital. And I made that one of my projects of going out and spending time on that island. I curbed it. It got turned back into a family atmosphere, and people were enjoying their weekends or their days in the sun without injury or from fights and things of that nature. Where I want to expand the dive and Marine unit is this. There was a chief in Charleston, South Carolina, Reuben Greenberg.
Mm-hmm.
He was selling community policing through his city. In other words, come to Charleston, pay a conference fee. I'll show you how things work in Charleston. You can take this back to your agency.
Right.
And he was actually making money for the city. We have an environment down here. We got the water. People pay big money to come down, spend their weekends. You got mini season coming up. We need to become a training facility for other agencies. Have them come in and learn how to handle a boat. Who wouldn't pay to come to the Keys and learn how to drive a boat or learn how to dive?
Mm-hmm.
We're missing a market value there that we could be capitalizing on.
A way to generate revenue for the SO.
Correct.
Okay. Tom, I got time for one more question, and I have to make it a quick one because we need to go to a commercial break, and that is one other tenet of your platform. You said as many as 30 sworn deputies right now are working desk jobs, and you think they could be a lot more productive out on the street.
Through the years, Sheriff's Office has gotten big. We gotten cumbersome. We became a reactive agency versus proactive. I want to take those people, a lot of them have a lot of experience, put them on the street where our inexperience is, and have them working side by side. For example, a detective. Take them from behind the desk, assign them to a shift. They respond to a major call, you get a detective right there working the case right now, not 12 hours, 24, 48 hours, whatever the case may be.
A patrolling detective.
Correct.
Okay.
And that way there they can respond, get on it, and address the problem right away and start working the case.
Okay. We're talking with Tom Peteck. He is a candidate for sheriff. He spent 24 years as a deputy with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and recently retired. Tom, thanks so much for coming in. It was great meeting you. Obviously, we wish you all the best and the best of luck on the campaign. And we appreciate you taking a few minutes to come in early this morning and sit down and visit with us.
Thank you very much.
All the best. Well, when we come back, we're going to check in live with Phil Goodman at the Coast Guard Auxiliary. That's straight ahead. Stay with us.